Hey, goofball.
Hi. Don't call me that. It's offensive.
You're a goofball.
I'm offended.
I'm ready to record. And I say, great, let's do it. And then I say, where's the link so I can join so we can record? Oh, I forgot.
Well, because
Goofball.
I still don't think of it as something I still don't think of it as using Zencast. Wow. We're going to do great today. Both of us can't speak.
Goofy ball.
I don't use Zen. We don't normally use Zencastr to record. It is no. So I was waiting for you to call me.
You're a goofy ball.
Where does that come from? Goofy.
You don't like the word goofy?
I like it. I'm just wondering where it comes from.
Goofball etymology. What's the drug version of goofball?
Well, 8-ball.
Goofball, meaning narcotic drug. 1938 slang from goof plus ball. Okay.
Oh. But what's a goof?
Where did the term goofball come from? Come on, you're not helping me with this. Narcotic drug, 1938, slang from goof plus ball. But it went back to... So goofball meant drug all the way back in 1938?
Oh, wow.
As an intensive of goof dates back to 1959. So it sounds like the drug thing was first.
Oh.
Who knew?
Okay.
I just think of the worst Disney character of them all, Goofy, rolling up into a ball like an armadillo or a roly-poly.
Whoa! Yeah! Did you watch that show with him and his son?
Nope. Nothing.
What was that called?
Nothing.
Goof Troop or something?
Yeah, I think it was Goof Troop. Nothing with Goofy.
Yeah.
Shut up.
My cousin played Goofy in Disney World.
All right, well, good for your cousin. That's a big role. Your cousin landed a big role.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if you're not going to get Mickey, who would you want to be?
Me?
I mean, in general, who do you
I'm probably too short to be anyone.
Who do you think the second choice is? If someone's not going to be Mickey.
Oh, it depends on what you're looking for, because you could just be like, oh, I'm so nice and I'm Snow White, or you could be like a really fun character like Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. If you look up videos that people have taken of her, she's like a real bitch to people and it's really fun. Oh, or Gaston is a great role to play at Disney World.
Yeah, I think any role where you
just tell little girls like they can't be scientists and stuff.
Yeah, any role where you get to be mean to kids would be perfect. I would actually be good at that. Maybe I should apply. Well, I guess the theme parks they tried to reopen Disney, right? But I don't think it went so well.
People went and then got sick, I think, right?
And I think just a lot of people weren't actually going. People did go. There's always those psychos who are obsessed with Disney.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta go. I need my Disney fix. To be so loyal to the Disney brand is strange to me. It's off-putting. Why? I don't know, when someone's such a huge Disney fan. I love everything Disney. Just a blanket. You love them all and everything. Why?
Yeah.
You don't realize that Disney is a big scam just to get as much money out of you as possible?
Well, and then it goes further when you're a big Disney World or Disney theme park person, because it sort of tricks you into the hype of, oh, you have to buy these figurines in these gift shops because this is the only place you can get them. And this one's really rare, and so you start collecting weird stuff like that. Or like, even I bought into it a little bit where the one time that I went, with my kids to Disney World, it was just to one of those, like, it wasn't Disney World. It was Disney World, but it was one of those other parks in Disney World, like Jungle something. I don't know. But it was rainy and I needed a shirt. And so I bought a shirt there that was really overpriced, but it had the year on it and like the season. And I was like, oh, this is cool because, you know what I mean? Like, even I fell into that trap of like, oh, this is a shirt that, you can't get another time.
It's all marketing. That whole vault. Yeah. We're opening the vault. Sleeping Beauty's back. It's like nobody even enjoys...
Get it now before it goes back in the vault.
And nobody even likes Sleeping Beauty. Give me a break.
Oh,
Sleeping
why?
Beauty is a snooze fest. Like, it's right there in the name sleeping. It makes me want to sleep.
The best villain. Isn't that Maleficent?
I don't follow the
Oh,
villains.
wait. Maleficent might be from Snow White. What I mean, the villain from Sleeping Beauty, that witch. She is the best villain. And she's fun to look up on YouTube.
No, so that is from Sleeping Beauty. Maleficent.
Yeah, Maleficent.
So who is the Snow White witch?
Oh.
The
They
evil
kind of
queen.
are the same person to me.
The evil queen, also known as the Wicked Queen, or the Queen, or the Witch. That's the name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it may as well be the same. I don't know. They're not. If you look at them, they're nothing alike. They're very different.
Okay.
They look very different. Maleficent has a cool look about her.
She does.
While the witch from Snow White just looks like an old haggard lady.
Oh, but that's when she turns into the lady trying to trick Snow White into the apple.
Oh.
You have to look before that. Don't you know anything?
No, I don't, because I find these films to be very, very boring. I can appreciate the animation now that I'm older and I, can look into such. But as a kid, when you're just watching for story, no, I got nothing out of them. I liked The Little Mermaid
Yeah.
because I had a crush on Ariel.
Oh, yeah. Especially when she couldn't talk.
No, I actually, surprisingly, when I like dark hair, but I preferred her when she had the red hair. Wait, no,
Yeah.
she
always had the red hair.
Yeah, the fake version.
The
had the
sea
dark
witch.
Hair. Yeah, had the dark hair.
Ursula.
Had the dark.
I'm changing my mind. She's my favorite villain. I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me Willow Witch.
Yeah, she's got the same voice as Sam from Sex and the City.
Oh. Pathetic.
That was the
Poor unfortunate souls.
that was the inspiration for that
You're right.
character. Where'd you get your inspiration? Ursula.
I love that. Ursula. God, Ursula's the best.
You took your kids to Disney World?
Yeah.
When? How
We were
old?
right next door to it.
I mean,
we were,
but at that
yeah.
age, why? How old was
Because
Pete?
we were right there.
What was
I think
Pete,
Ellie
like
was
3 months at that point?
4. Yeah, and Pete was little. I think he got him free.
Sure. But it just seems like a hassle. He's getting zero out of the experience.
Yeah, I changed his diaper like on the ground.
Yeah, he does not care that he's there,
No.
even if it is free. And then you're just lugging around at that point. You may as well be carrying around, a bag of weights. Just something that's kind of a nuisance.
Yeah.
I want to ride Dumbo. Oh, but I got this baby.
Yeah, that's true.
Strange choice. Sorry. That's all.
Listen, we didn't go there just so that we could go to Disney World. Travis had a what's it called? Not a convention. What's it called?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Whatever. He had a group of, a bunch of people in the same industry coming together. Conference. He had a conference in like right there in Orlando. And we were 5 minutes away from Disney World. So like let's go to this one park. It was cool.
I bet that was a blast of personality.
What?
Hanging out at that conference.
Scientists are a strange bunch because a lot of them are tough to talk with. And then there are others who are like just kind of normal and are there to party.
Yeah, they're the ones that they strive to be the Carl Sagans.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Hey,
yeah.
I've got personality. This is the trick.
No, but nothing's wrong with Carl Sagan.
There's nothing wrong with this. Is the trap in science. If you have a little bit of personality when you're a scientist, then suddenly you think you have what it takes. You have the chops to be the public scientist, the one that brings it to the layman. Yeah, I got some
Layman.
personality. I can hold the conversation for more than 3 minutes. I should be on TV. It's like, no, you shouldn't.
No, people in this in that field don't have the need. They're too weird usually.
But that's what I'm saying. When you're surrounded by all these people, when you're the one person who has somewhat of a normal personality, then it's inflated. Your worth and value to the field of science is inflated. I'll be the next Carl Sagan. I'll be writing books and I'll have my TV show.
But I'm saying even within those people, they don't want to be in charge of. Oh, you know why? Because usually they're really smart about one thing, and that's their field of study, and that's it. So they can't just, and they'll talk past you, or like above your head.
You won't get it.
No, they try. They're talking to you like yeah, and this and that, and you're like, no, okay.
Yeah, I'd go to Disney World too. At that point, the choice of the two.
Yeah,
I'll go to Disney. At least there's some characters and some colors.
It was fun. Disney World, even though it is like a weird thing overall as far as like money and ruining Star Wars, it is still cool, at least just for the dedication and like the craftsmanship that goes into the tiny details in Disney World, because they really do make you wonder, is that bird sitting on that fence, is that a real bird, or is that like a Disney bird that's just there to make me like believe in magic?
I haven't been since 7th grade. I know you're right with that there's an attention to detail, and they do care about their parks.
Yeah,
it's mostly the crowds. So many people go.
Oh yeah.
But I haven't been since 7th grade, and in 7th grade, my favorite was Epcot. I think that's a weird.
Epcot was so cool. That was like there was Epcot. Science stuff there.
Yeah, with the wannabe Carl Sagans. I'll teach you about science.
I'll teach you about science.
I have personality. More so than my colleagues. Also, colleagues. It's the only place where the only field where you call your coworkers colleagues.
Well, because you don't really work with them. Like a coworker, you think of like someone right beside you handing you things, or like you're helping each other. It really is like you work on this really far away from me, and you're in a whole different country.
I'll show you. I'll get on TV. I'll be the next Carl Sagan. And then those times you made me carry your paperwork, you'll be like, wow, you're on TV. You really showed me.
Billions and billions of stardust.
I don't know why I'm stuck on this.
I don't either.
I have this idea that...
Do you remember that song?
Well, people in general, I feel as though they're in situations when, there's an extreme happening, and they're not that extreme. Like they don't fall into the extreme. They're a little above the extreme. Then they overcompensate and they start believing things that aren't actually true about themselves.
I feel like that can happen, but I don't see it happening as often in this, like at least in the astronomical community.
Because say someone has no thumbs and they can't paint a wall properly because they have no thumbs. And then someone can paint a wall pretty well. And then suddenly they think they're able to paint portraits of people with brilliant shadowing.
A lot of people that do have that sort of mentality end up dropping out of the science field and go into something else.
Well, I still believe what I said because this is human nature. And who knows human nature better than I do?
Do you remember that Carl Sagan song? If you wish to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the universe.
Yeah, I think that's on the gold record with Voyager.
Oh, but it's somebody like put music to it. A still more glorious dawn awaits, not a sunrise, but a galaxy rise. A morning filled with 400 billion suns.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know that's on
that
the gold
song's not on there. Him talking like that.
That gold record's on there with the song. And so then
the song's not on there.
And then aliens find it and like, ugh. It actually keeps them away from Earth. Like, this is what they call good music.
You're so annoying.
This is okay. Let's just not go near Earth.
Yeah, if they put music of today on there, it'd be like Cardi B.
Or they'd come to Earth.
Yeah, you messing with a wet ass pussy.
They'd come to Earth to immediately destroy it.
Macaroni in a pot. That's my favorite part. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I still haven't listened to it.
She says macaroni in a pot. That's some wet ass pussy. Because you know like what it sounds like when you stir macaroni.
Yeah, thanks for ruining it. Cardi B.
I think it's hilarious. Get a bucket and a mop.
I told you with Cardi B, I much preferred her when I didn't know she was a singer.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how I didn't know. But you
just thought she was a personality.
I thought she was just some crazy person who got a lot of followers on Instagram, and then I enjoyed watching some of those videos, and then it's like, you do music.
She's like, I got a new car.
Then I'm like, you do music. All right, I'm out.
I'm into it. I like it. I think it's true. Like, yeah, that song is explicit, but also it's not for children. And how many rap songs talk about like their big dicks and like, I'm fucking your bitch, you know?
Sure. I have nothing against the song.
No, I'm talking about people who go against it. Like, she's like someone we know was saying that like she was a skank. Like, what the? She's married.
Yeah, well, that person hates everyone. All right, we should start the show because we're 16 minutes in.
Okay, good. I'm exhausted, Greg.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I'm exhausted. And let's find out why on this episode.
Sorry, I'm looking. I'm getting responses to...
Excuse me, I was teeing up
I know, I'm just telling you. The Fireside Mystery Theater, the podcast / live stage show that I do, that's old radio shows. Well, it's in the... shape of old radio. It's not old radio shows. It's like old radio shows. It's being presented in the same fashion as old radio shows on stage with sound.
Keep saying radio shows.
Yeah, well, like when there were actual stories. This was something that I've been working on.
Okay,
for years
what's your
and
point?
years. And it was been written up in the New York Times. Looks like something I'm working on has success.
Not gonna be this show.
Suck on that, One Topic.
Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
My name is Greg Russ. Autumn, this is your week, but it's very exciting for me because you have a new job. Autumn has a new job. Autumn has a new job. And I don't know, when people have new jobs on LinkedIn, the alert comes through and it says, congratulate so-and-so on their new job with blank. So congratulate Autumn with her new job, fill in the blank.
DoorDash. It's a real sort of step back. Listen, in a lot of ways, it could be seen as, a little nitrous in your race car, right? Like, I'm already going fast, but guess what? Maybe I can go a little faster. Put some NOS in my engine.
I don't understand the comparison.
Okay, because if I still weren't doing the radio show and then I just started doing DoorDash, that's a real step back. And that's pretty pathetic and maybe a little sad.
Okay, so I was hoping to stretch this out a bit. Maybe people get a little worried.
Let's edit
stretch out the listenership of the show. Where people, Autumn's got a new job. What's going on with her status with the radio show on the Von Hessler Doctrine on WSB 95.5 FM
had a real falling
in
out.
Atlanta, Georgia, and then we don't get to the actual answer until 30 minutes in, and then
maybe you should have told me that, and then I could have dragged it out.
Then that way we look at the statistics for the listenership and like, well, that show had great engagement, as they say. What engagement that show had? People were engaged. Usually I feel like our engagement is probably 2 minutes and then people are gone.
What do you mean, with One Topic or the radio show?
One Topic.
Oh, 2 minutes.
I know. I made that up. That's not true. But, okay.
Yeah, so why did this turn into a shitting on One Topic?
It didn't.
Didn't?
No.
You're saying that people only listen for 2 minutes?
Self-deprecation. People enjoy it. It shows them that we're modest and we don't take ourselves too seriously. Look, this is planned, gotcha. Autumn. I do this stuff on purpose.
You got to fill me in on these plans. I don't know.
Because if you go out there, we're the greatest. We're the a labyrinth of pathologies and the best there is, then...
Yep. We're going to give you our doctrine on whatever we might want to talk about.
Then people are like, oh, get out of here. I can't deal with your egos. So the radio...
you're sitting up on a pedestal or maybe some sort of pad.
So your job with the radio
Wait,
show...
Pod. I called it the fake name instead of the real name.
Yeah, well, more power to you.
Thank you.
So your position with the radio show, it's still intact. You still have the
Yes.
radio gig.
I still have the radio gig.
Which opens me up to many more questions at that point. Why you're needing to take a door dashing job.
Yes. So, well, first of all, does everyone know what DoorDash is? DoorDash is a food delivery, like a restaurant fast food type delivery service, like Postmates.
It's part of the gig economy.
Yeah,
You
it's
get
like
an
Uber
app.
Eats.
You
Yeah.
get an app. You put in your order. It covers a bunch of restaurants. And then Autumn is an employee. She has the app.
Contractor.
Yeah, contract employee. Then the app alerts her, hey, somebody wants their bloomin' onion, and they want it yesterday, and we'll pay you 58 cents to deliver this. And she speeds out, no matter what she's doing at home, rushes to the Outback Steakhouse,
Yeah.
grabs the bloomin' onion for Mike Jones, basic food for a basic man, and then you drive it 18 miles.
Yeah.
You get your 58 cents. Hopefully the person tips you.
Yep. And then I say thank you.
Yes, and then you know, with the tip, you probably get $2
Yeah.
and 50 something cents. So I think the question is why? Why is this happening? Why are you door dashing? What's going on in your life? There's a lot of questions, a lot of blanks
Yeah.
that need to be filled in, and I'm going to start filling them in myself if I don't get answers, and that they're going to be wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to fill in all the blanks. So,
Do you have cancer
real.
and no health insurance?
no, nothing like that. Nothing nothing involving anyone's health. But no, I have future plans that require more money than I have at this moment. And current plans that require more money than I have at this moment. So, instead of waiting around for, you know, certain places to just, you know, give me more money in this economy.
Well, hey, all right, hold on. I'm stopping you there. You're making excuses. We don't have to go too deep into this because I know that you're employed by the radio station and you don't want to stir any shit. But you made an excuse. Instead of waiting around for more money in this economy. This has been radio's... I'm just for a second. This has been their excuse since 2008. The economy's bad. Radio's just not the same that it used to be. There's just not as much money in radio. And then before that, God knows what the excuse was. It was consolidation. You know, we are just a big company, and our company decided to buy 1,200 radio stations, and we're in a lot of debt now. So we have to cut a lot of corners. There's just no money for you to be had. I mean, the fact that my first radio job full-time was $16,000 a year tells you everything you need to know about the industry, and it looks like some things have never changed. And that, look, I know you don't want to get too deep into that. It is a little strange to me that the radio show does very well. It's the number one radio station in the market, a big market, Atlanta, and I just pronounced Atlanta like a person who hasn't lived there in a long time, which I haven't. I haven't been there in about 13 years.
That didn't grow up there.
Yeah, Atlanta. Sorry,
Yeah.
I enunciated that T at the end, so now I've exposed
You've
myself.
ingratiated yourself back in.
No,
So, good job.
I enjoy it. That's right. I haven't lived in Atlanta for a long time, so you can pronounce it any way you want. But anyway, it's a big market, and the show's doing well, and it just surprises me that you can't even. And this is across the board with radio, that you can't even get enough to get by. Blows my mind.
I have to admit that it's disappointing, but also, what else can I do? I can't go to the people above the people above the people that I'm above those people that I'm talking to. I don't know. I can only ask for what I want and be told differently, and that's all I can do. What am I going to march? Protest? Quit? I'm not going to quit.
Strike.
I
You
love
should
the show. I'm
strike.
going to do it.
You should go on strike.
Yeah. I deserve more. Maybe. Well, I can't get it for you. Okay. What am I going to do?
You do deserve more. Let me say this.
I agree, but there's nothing I can do.
In this culture of entitlement, people throw deserve. They think they deserve things when they don't actually deserve things. But, the way the model works, especially with a commercial model, is ratings are good, commercials go for more money. Whole company makes more money. The people who create the show, therefore, should get more money. So when the whole system is in place and they're just cutting a step out of it, I would say that you deserve a little more money.
Well,
and
deserve and the ability to get are different things. And at least my way of thinking and dealing with it is I can't change what they come back to me with as far as money goes. So it's out of my control. That's not to say that I can't be disappointed or sad or, worried, or something like that. That's all fine. But in reality, there's nothing I can do about it. And so what am I going to do? Am I going to teach myself to fish? Yes, I'm going to figure out how to make more money. So hence the door dashing, because it's something where you can start and stop whenever you want. And that's something I really need, because I can't tell. Well, first of all,
let me say this. I mean, what you're saying, it's commendable. You aren't sitting around moping and whining, and you need some more money, and you're taking another job, and a job that, I really don't look down on. I think I was giving you shit about it, but yeah. Some people probably would. I'm above doing such a thing. It's like, situations call for certain actions, and you're taking action.
Right. And I do feel like proud of myself for that, because there are things that you say, and then when the shit hits the fan, do you actually, put into action those things you've said? And I feel pretty glad that is the case. You know what I mean? I feel like I've said before, it's like, well, if you don't have enough money, like, get another job, blah, blah, blah. And then, somebody can go back and say, like, well, I work in the morning. Like, so my situation, I work in the mornings. I can't just tell, like, oh, and first, I don't want to go to work at Target with like 17-year-olds and like they're not doing their job very well.
So you're above Target.
I see that. Huh?
You're above Target is what you're saying.
No, I'm not above Target, but I'm above the people that I would work with at Target.
Well, part of this,
I don't want to work with kids, that are telling me what to do. And I also don't want to make such a tiny little amount of money. This job, this DoorDash thing is really cool because I feel in charge of what I'm making.
Well, this is the thing with the gig economy, is you can make your own hours. You go out, you do get taken advantage of by these companies, and that's a different thing. Yeah, that's my cynicism at play. But I know quite often it's like the people who are actually on the ground getting the work done. DoorDash actually read, though, compared to some of these other food delivery. They treat their employees better. Their contract employees.
Is that right?
Yeah, with just the rates and fees are better that you're getting. And
what are the other ones like?
I don't know for sure. I just know that Uber is notorious in general. Seamless is a big one here in New York. Uh-huh. And Seamless, and New York's a different setup in the sense that a lot of restaurants in New York already have their own built-in delivery people. So you're delivering food from restaurants that don't have a delivery service. This is the go-between that DoorDash provides. All right, now you can order from anywhere, and we've got the delivery covered. Seamless, though, you still tip the delivery person and stuff, but I think that Seamless takes 20-something%, maybe 30% of what you're paying to the restaurant. And so I get it. You provided a service and you created the app and the development, and the restaurants don't have to partake in it. They don't. But it's at a point where people do use this service more so than calling the restaurant directly. So you probably would lose out on business. So you're kind of held hostage in a way. And I think I don't think it scales properly, if that makes sense. I was like, if you take 5%, great. And you've probably got so much business, taking 5% is going to make you a lot of money. And right. I think some of the other apps like Uber Eats are kind of like that, in the sense that they probably keep a higher percentage than they give to the drivers.
Okay.
And I think DoorDash provides an opportunity to cash out your money every single day if you want.
Yes.
So that's a nice thing.
You have that.
But going back to what you're saying, having control of the work that you do, setting your own hours, and even if it's just an hour here and there, the ability to
it can be for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, the ability to quickly make more money is a nice thing, despite my complaints against the gig economy, which leaves workers exposed and doesn't offer them any kind of health care or benefits, even if they work for full-time hours and blah, blah, blah.
Right. So that's the thing. I mean, it is it should be a side hustle, which I hate, whatever, side gig. It should be something that's going to, what's it called when you add something, not facilitates, but whatever, you add it on to whatever your main thing is. So
supplement,
thank you. Supplements your income. So yeah, I started on Thursday. I did 2 dashes on Thursday because I was just figuring it out. I didn't know where I was going.
You were nervous going in.
I was nervous. I didn't know. It was weird. It was really weird.
What were stirring the fears? What was stirring the fears?
Just that whole thing of like, I'm going into something and I don't know where to go. I don't know how to do it. I mean, I know how to drop off food at someone, you know what I mean? But
no, there's a system, and there's other people that you're encountering who know the system. And
there's like little tricks and like tips and things that you and methods that work that you find for yourself, like as you continue to do them, that you figure out that, you can't read on how to do it, that no one can teach you. It's like a preference, you find your own preferences. It's been interesting.
I'm similar in the sense that if I don't know the way a system works, I tend to shy away from it. Even that can even go to ordering at a busy restaurant, to-go restaurant. Yeah. Here in New York, there's quite a few places where there is a system. People know how to order. They keep it going because if I don't know the way that works, I don't want to be the person in there clogging up that system. So I just end up not doing it. So I understand getting in there. So, jumping in there, that in its own right, you're opening yourself up for that. Talking about learning the tricks of the trade. This is where I think it suits you because I know it's not a game, but it seems like you can treat it as a game because you're just zooming around town. You're trying, the fares pop up, or not fares, but the delivery pops up.
Dashes.
Yeah, so a dash pops up and it's a good one and you need to claim it quickly before someone else gets it, and then learning how to maximize.
Right. Because like you could say, oh, this looks like a decent tip. Let's say you're going to make $10. And that includes the $3 that DoorDash automatically puts in. So you have to think about that too. So, a $10 thing comes up and you're like, I want $10, but then you say you're going to do it, and then you see, oh no, it's like 15 miles away. Oh no. And they ordered like,
so you don't know how far you have to go until after you accept?
No, you do know ahead of time. So that's what I mean. So at first, I accidentally accepted one that was like $3 something, and it was at a Burger King where this person ordered like 2 chicken sandwiches and onion rings, like the weirdest items from Burger King. It's like ordering lasagna at KFC.
Well, they don't offer lasagna. I understand what you're trying to say there, but
anyway, I accepted it because it was my second one ever.
It's not unheard of to buy chicken sandwich. Was the person excited when you dropped off their chicken sandwich?
Yes, he was, and he was old. But what that meant was that he didn't give me any tip.
But that's a sweet story.
And the Burger King had a real like shitty system. I didn't know where I was supposed to be. So I was doing that thing, and I just like waited for someone to look at me, and she asked me like, oh, are you with DoorDash? Oh yeah, you have to go do this. I was like, oh man.
What do you have to do?
Well, at Burger King, you have to go to the register and tell them you're there for the order, and then they start making it. They don't just start making, they don't make it ahead of time.
Well, it's fast food.
You come in and grab it. But a lot of other places do. They'll have it ready for you when you come get it.
Well, that bloomin' onion takes a little longer to cook.
Fry, that's different.
To drown in grease.
So what some places do that have a more sophisticated system is that they're tracking when the DoorDasher is coming to their restaurant. And then that's when they'll when it's within a certain range, that's when they'll fire the meal, and then by the time you get there, you're waiting a minimal amount of time so that you can get the delivery out as fast as possible. It's not sitting there. But yeah, so anyway, this Burger King thing was so horrible. I waited there for like 20 minutes, and then I went to this guy's house, and like I said, he was this old man. Because it was my second one, and just this weekend was my first weekend doing it. I really had to get over the idea of like, I have to be good at this right away. I have to only make good decisions. I kept making mistakes, not mistakes like big mistakes, like you don't deliver something or, you fuck something up. More like, I shouldn't have accepted that order because it was too low and too far away. Oh, I should have.
Fool. See, I guarantee that DoorDash depends on the turnover of people. Because I'm sure a lot of people are joining and then not doing it that long. Because it sounds like there are a lot of shitty orders placed. And why would you go deliver something for $3? So they probably depend on the people coming in and falling into that trap. And then they quit soon after. But there's so many people coming in that they look at this and they call you the fools. Here are the naive.
Yeah, well, I was the fool.
The naives. The naives are here. Take that $3 Burger King order to the old man, which, by the way, that had to blow his mind, though. As an old man, using his phone to get some Burger King chicken sandwiches delivered to him and figuring how to do it. He's probably very proud of himself, and he probably thought to himself, this really is the future. I'm here.
He didn't understand that you're supposed to tip, He's like, well, I don't tip at Burger King. Why would I tip this person?
Did he say that?
No, but I'm just imagining. You know what I mean? Like when people are older, you just give them a pass on stuff.
Which
like, all right.
They know and honestly, exactly what they're doing.
Yes, I know, but I felt whatever his motivation was, my thinking was like, all right, he wanted his meal, and maybe a more experienced dasher would not take that order, but I was the one that did it, and I'm glad. Look, you needed your chicken from a place that's called Burger King. That's fine.
Was his old wife there? And maybe
I don't know.
And she was really excited, and like he was really excited.
Henry, it's the food here.
Yeah, and then he cuts the chicken sandwich up in pieces for her and feeds it to her. This is turned in, see, the sweetest story ever.
And then he reads her notebook to her.
But it doesn't change the fact that he
they
didn't
go out and
tip
dance
you.
in the rain.
And he did not tip you. So
whatever.
And this isn't. What's the Instacart is the grocery delivery one, right?
Instacart is the grocery one, yeah.
So with DoorDash, you can't take away someone's like Instacart. I heard people were putting giant tips up front.
Oh, I've heard that too.
To get people to go out and buy their groceries, and then they had the ability to change that tip, and they would change it to 0 quite often after the people had already done all the work. And this is during COVID too, when these people are going out because they're in a position where they have to make money, and they're putting themselves in some kind of risk, for catching it. And then you take away the tip. Give me a break. How sleazy are you? You're a ghoul at that point. I hope that your pickles had Ajax sprinkled into it.
Yeah, that's a pretty messed up thing to do. And I would imagine that probably didn't happen frequently.
It happened enough that this was a story going around. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, but you know how those things start. You know what I mean? It was like 1.5 people it happened to out of the thousands and thousands of Instacart orders. And it was just like a ghost story at that point. It's like maybe something like that happened, but
it's still a scummy thing to do. But
of course it is. But I do want to say that I think.
Oh, sorry. The question though, and I'm sorry to cut you off. They can't do that with DoorDash. You can't change the tip, right? Could someone set you up that way?
You can't, but sometimes you get more than you think. Like sometimes you end up getting a higher tip at the end than what you started with, which I don't understand how that works.
Okay, that's nice. That's a nice surprise.
Yeah, that's a great surprise. It was like $8 and then it was $12.
And how long, how many deliveries do you think you get done in an hour?
Well, it depends on where you're going. It depends. I mean, you hope that each one start to finish only lasts like 20 minutes. But it can definitely go longer than that. This is what I was going to say, was that I think something that really struck me, that, I don't know if before I would feel differently about this because of maturity, or if it's because of sort of my new mindset about myself and forgiveness and all of those like sort of crunchy things, my journey, all these things that are happening with me right now. But the idea that I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be like making mistakes is only making me smarter. I think that's the biggest lessons that I've taken out of this so far, is that the mistakes I've made have been annoying me, but they've also been like, okay, now I've made that mistake. Now I know to stay away from that, and no Reddit thread on how to DoorDash is going to tell me that sometimes you might get caught in when you're in Baltimore in between going through a tunnel under the water and have to pay the toll 3 times because you miss your exit. Or like you're stuck in this DoorDash zone where people are ordering from one side of the tunnel and making you deliver it to the other side, back and forth, and you're still having to pay for that toll. So no one can tell you, what I mean? It's just through experience. Or no one can tell you, like I said, to what you prefer. So this weekend I went and explored different areas in Baltimore, which I thought would be better, because my biggest sort of idea or complaint about being out in the suburbs was that the distance from the restaurant to the person's house was kind of long, because people in the suburbs don't always live super close to where the restaurants and like the little town centers are, So
yeah, I want my Krispy Kreme and it's 20 miles away.
Oof, yes.
That should be managed, by the way. There should be delivery zones. And that falls on the creators of DoorDash.
But if somebody in Laurel wants Krispy Kreme, then I guess they can use DoorDash. Anyway, so
inside Laurel,
what I imagined Baltimore, and maybe DC is like this too, I haven't gone down there yet, but what I thought would be happening is that people are ordering Chipotle, 6 blocks away, and they just either don't want to physically have to go get it. Maybe parking is annoying. Maybe it's too hot. They don't want to walk. And so I thought I'd be like zipping all close by to all these places. But in reality, I'm like scooting through streets back and forth. The roads are horrible. I feel like my axle's going to break in half. I'm seeing prostitutes. Which I like seeing that. It's interesting. But I don't know. It just seemed way more claustrophobic and annoying to be in Baltimore. And then when I left Baltimore and I came back down to my suburban area, which I do a lot of complaining about the suburbs, but this was a good part about being a DoorDasher, I guess, is that
there are these the saving grace of the suburbs.
Yeah, this is my first compliment to the suburbs.
Delivering people their Chili's loaded baked potato.
Yeah, their Applebee's steaks. Was that there are these sort of longer stretches of road between when you have to make a decision to turn or to do or to what. And it's surprisingly much more relaxing to be out and driving in the suburbs.
Yeah, it sounds like you were a Formula One race car driver having to make split-second decisions when you were in Baltimore.
Well, you kind of are, because think about how short the little block is, and then you're like, I have to turn, and then...
What's going on with the GPS? It's not working at that point?
Oh, it is, but it's just like a lot. You know what I mean? It's turning, it's doing, it's going.
Here's how I think you become a good DoorDasher. You don't need the GPS. You take pride in that. Like, I know how to get there.
Oh, like those cab drivers you imagine, like, go to this place, and they just know exactly where that is?
Yeah, they don't exist anymore, which is a shame.
That's the thing about being out here, too, is like, oh, I know where that is. Whereas in Baltimore, I'm like, oh, man, where's that Chipotle? Oh, it's
where do you park?
Squished.
And you're in the city. How are you parking to get these food
I parked near some bums to go to that Chipotle that were like sleeping in their little thing, and they smelled like weed.
No, that's nice.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, I parked next to those guys.
The homeless people have access to weed now, too. That's not criticism. That's not me. Like, some people are like, oh, yeah, I'm saying, oh, great.
No, homeless people have cell phones.
You need to escape the life as much as you can. Get high.
Although, I don't understand how homeless people have cell phones.
That's a good question. Some people are going to say the Obama phone. Shut up. Let's not even get into that. I feel like if I were homeless and getting high, though, I would just constantly think about the fact that I was homeless and how the hell did this happen. So getting high wouldn't be a good escape for me. But going back to what you're saying, this offers and it affords an opportunity for you to make mistakes. And I don't mean to shit on it, but the stakes are lower. Meaning, I think it's
that's true.
Training wheels for other areas of your life where you're getting in there, you are making mistakes. Your identity isn't tied to this. I know you still want to do a good job and you want to maximize as much money as you can make, and maybe you even have a good heart and you want to get people their food lukewarm before it gets cold.
Yeah.
Which is, respectable. But I feel as though some of the other things, and this is something I suffer from, if you're doing something creative, or I know that you had this idea of creating art that you will put on Etsy and try to sell it, which just in its own right, there's so many people selling so many things that even if it's great art, it may not be seen. You have to get it out there somehow. And it would be easy to take that as a rejection.
Right.
If you put something up there. And I'm talking about you wanting to do this art, but I'm thinking of myself in that situation. So I'm projecting this onto you. But also, I feel as though refining that art, if you're putting something out there that you want people to buy, so you had this idea just to create these cute little animals that people would put in there.
For like nursery decor.
Yeah. And I think even within that, there would be mistakes, there would be modifications, things you need to learn, different ways you need to create the art and present the art and market the art. And, jumping right into that seems like a thing. And again, for me, if I tried to do it and it didn't work in a week, I would just give up. I'm done. But it's also because there's more at stake in the sense that my identity more so.
Right.
Maybe not identity, but
there's a vulnerability in putting something that you are proud of and it not working.
Yeah, so DoorDash is teaching you some valuable life lessons, it sounds.
Well, okay, so I started to do that sort of art, that Etsy nursery decor idea first before I applied to be a DoorDasher. And I honestly, listen, I'm not bragging, but maybe I'm just great because I really did sort of trust the process of doing something creative, sort of trying out different things, not needing it to go perfectly, as it moves on. And right now, because I just started DoorDashing, I haven't been thinking about the art as much. But I also trust that too, that I will go back to it. Because I do need a creative outlet. DoorDashing is not a creative outlet.
No, but it's a quick, reliable way to make money.
It's quick and you're right. It's quick and reliable, and I can do it whenever. But doing the nursery stuff, those whatever, these animals, you and I was really going in a direction with it where I was, coloring with these markers to see what that looked like, and then I was using colored pencils to see what that turned out like, testing out different backgrounds on them, and then you and I just stumbled upon a GIF that we both liked and came and sort of were inspired by that to change, and that's totally different than what I was doing before. So I kind of trust that creative process, that it does take time and just experimenting, and I really do think, I wonder if that's something that comes with age, where you've gone through life and you've seen things work and you've seen how things work. You've seen yourself have success and failures, and you have fallen. I think when you're young, right, you haven't had a lot of disappointments. Well, fingers crossed, I guess, when you're younger. You haven't had a ton of disappointments. You haven't had a lot of personal failures. Just not a lot of life has happened to you. Especially living in as an adult on your own, and I feel like now that I have had that, because I'm 38, not 37, which I thought yesterday, that, it's kind of okay. You don't mind that it's not working right away.
Well, I still failure, I still shy away from it at all costs.
Yeah, I guess I don't.
I haven't experienced failure in my life because I've just avoided any instance where it could possibly pop up, and I make sure that before I set out to do something, it's going to work out. That's not necessarily.
Tell me the truth, though. The truth. Is that true? You don't avoid things.
I've probably have avoided plenty for that very reason.
But what about right now?
When it comes
I could say that too. I avoided a ton of stuff.
Yeah,
but...
so when you're talking about this coming along with age, maybe. I don't. When it comes to creative things and, you feel as though your worth is tied into it, you are vulnerable. And if it gets rejected or people don't like it, it's a commentary on you as a person.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a little, and we've talked about this before on other shows. That is something that I've surely shied away from and avoided many times in my life. I feel like maybe doing something that doesn't mean as much to you is the way to get used to. I still feel as though if I were door dashing and I did something like the tunnel thing that you did, where you went through a tunnel 3 times because you got turned around. Yep. I would think I would beat myself up for the rest of the night. But that's an opportunity to learn to not do that because ultimately nobody else knows that I did that. And, well, DoorDash does because I'm sure they're tracking.
I did have to text the person. I was like, yo, sorry, I'm late. I'll be there soon.
What did they write back? They take away
She was like, it's cool. I think she was super stoned.
Oh, yeah. You have no sense of time when you're super stoned anyway.
Yeah.
You put something in the microwave.
It's all good. She ordered this amazing... Oh, I went... I really should... I should write down some of these places because I was in sort of this real shitty part of Baltimore and there was this barbecue that looked just like a tent set up with like tons of smoke coming out of it and a bunch of people waiting for it. I was like, ooh, I bet that's really good barbecue because like the shittier the outside of a barbecue place looks, the better it is. And then this Greek, so the girl I was saying I went back and forth through the tunnel before accidentally.
What did she order, by the way?
She ordered a bunch of Greek food. She got like a wrap thing. She got Greek fries. She got baklava. She got it all.
I'm just really interested to know in people's food orders.
Oh, I love looking at that.
Do you steal the food?
Okay. No, you can't steal it.
Like I would steal a few fries.
No, all of that stuff is taped up. Everything's taped up, closed, sealed.
And smart because people would be stealing the fries. Fries, that's the one you steal.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't do it. I'm not doing that. But anyway, so I went to this weird little street where it was like I was in another country because these bunch of old men were just sitting outside like smoking and eating and talking. And there was this Greek restaurant and this like 2 Greek restaurants right next to each other. I feel like these old men were Greek. I don't know. I was really into it.
You offended me.
I wish I'd written it down.
With that Greek imitation. And all the men.
I told the guy, I said, "Eferisto," which means thank you.
That's a real word. Autumn, the Greek in me is offended by your imitation of our beautiful language.
Are you Greek? No. You're Roman.
I'm not Roman.
Your nose is Roman.
I'm not any of those things.
Your silhouette is Roman.
Yeah, I would just be really curious. I guess you're not seeing the people as much, though, because you said there's contactless delivery where you just put the bag down.
Yeah, I don't see them. I did deliver some Cheesecake Factory to this apartment, and inside it was like 10:30 at night. I heard kids like yelling and screaming and like, bah! And then I don't know what I thought, but then this dude who looked half baked came out. He was like, "Thank you, bye."
Yeah, the people are really
kids here. What the fuck?
People are really giving you a window inside their lives and their when you're seeing what people are ordering. That is.
Oh, this old lady. She ordered something and she opened the door and her house smelled like mothballs. I was like, "Grandma,
you got to keep the moths away." Have you ever had a moth infestation? I had a wool coat
No, but
once.
why do mothballs have to smell so bad?
Because they want the moths to stay away. I had this.
Moths aren't responding to the smell.
Yeah, it's driving them away.
What is a mothball?
It's a ball that keeps moths away.
Yeah, I know that. What is it?
That's what it is. It's a
ball made out of dead moths to tell other moths to stay away or I'll turn you into a ball.
Man, I had moths once and they were eating this coat that I liked, and then I put out one of those glue traps, like it's a triangle, and they fly into it. It's got the 2 sides are open and they fly and they just stick to it. And there were so many. It's like, you wouldn't even know there were that many around.
I know. Where are they?
They're well, it's actually the larvae that eat the wool.
Right.
And then once they're grown, they're not eating it anymore, but they're just mating and laying the eggs. Mothballs are small balls of a chemical pesticide and deodorant. So I'm trying to...
her house smelled like mothballs. And I instantly like created this weird scent memory for her grandkids, which I assume she has grandkids who come over to her house and they know it smells weird and they don't know until they're adults that it's a mothball smell. And then they kind of don't like the smell, but then when they smell it, they remind them of Nana.
So they buy mothballs after she dies.
And then I drove, to Chipotle or something after that. But it's been kind of fun. Sometimes I like blast music and I'm listening to stuff, or sometimes I'm quietly listening to a podcast.
Quickly, here you go. It's the mothballs. They go from a solid to a gas. These fumes that come off of them are toxic to the moths and the larvae.
Okay. So it is the smell.
It kills them and it deters them from the area.
Well, cut out that part where I
Nope.
boldly was like, it's not the smell.
I know that a lot of people aren't or eating in the middle of the night, but that's when I would work. The roads are somewhat empty.
Yeah.
I would put on Coast to Coast and hear people talk about shadow people and chupacabras and UFOs.
Yeah, I get that. I get that idea. You're such a romantic.
Well, I think that's the best time to be out. It's nice, especially in the summer or the winter, because in the summer it's cooling down a bit at night. Even if it doesn't get too cool, you blast the air conditioner, and then it's 2 a.m. There's not that many people out. It's a whole subset of people that are up that are different than the norms of the daylight. And then in the winter, it'd just be freezing out. Yeah, that'd be the best time to go. I would, but it's a shame that most of these restaurants are also closing. They're not open 24 hours, so I guess your opportunity to deliver through the night. I feel like I would be a late night.
a lot of the restaurants around me close at 10:30.
Suburbs.
I know. There are some places like all the fast food stuff is still open. Yeah. Even over by the mall, there's like a bunch of restaurants over there. But I think even they close early.
What time does the Panda Express close?
10, I think. I love Panda Express.
People want to eat late.
Garbage.
What is it? Why are these places staying open? There's probably a lot. If they were open, they probably get a lot of business, especially if you're the only one who's open. But they refuse to do it, and we want to go home and see our families.
Oh, I'm so special. I have a family to see. I have to sleep.
You're supposed to work hard. That's the American dream. You drive yourself into the ground. So you can have a better,
that's kind of how I felt yesterday.
So you can have a better life.
I DoorDashed for like 9 hours yesterday.
But you're obsessed with it. And I'm really
still feeling the effects today.
You dreaming about it, I'm sure. Like you're
right that it is a game. When you described it as a game, that is exactly right. Because you open up your app and the area, like, my state or my sort of, what's it called? Like the metropolitan area, whatever. They're broken up into these different sort of segments and different neighborhoods. So it'll show you like within this border it's red. And so it tells you that it's busy. And a lot of experienced DoorDashers will tell you not to chase the red areas because it changes frequently and you're wasting your gas to get out there for it to just change and then there's nothing to do. So just like stick around your house until something comes up and then try and go out during busy times and like dinners and lunches and breakfasts and stuff.
The old timers.
But it's interesting to open your app and see that it's red and then there's a button that says like dash now and you're like, should I do it? Should I just go out?
Well, you love money.
I do love money.
We had the show about gambling, and I feel as though this is similar to gambling in the sense it's not anything like gambling because you're not putting your money at risk, but
right.
There's a payoff. If you gamble and you win a few dollars at the slot machine, that's exciting. It's a dopamine burst. And I feel as though the same thing's happening here. It's like an 850 delivery, an 850 dash. I'm doing a 1325 dash. Oh my God. And you feel like you won something.
Yeah, it's true. Like I dashed Friday and Saturday. And like I said, Saturday was like almost all day long. And I told myself I'm not dashing on Sunday. not just as a rule, but just to like give yourself a break. You have other things to do. I don't have food here. I need to buy. I gotta go out and get groceries.
Have you been obsessing though all day?
Yeah, I think dashing? Like, oh man, maybe I could just do it later. You know what I mean? I have this urge to do it, but really, I keep having to tell myself like, no, take care of yourself, give yourself a break.
This is like a gambling addiction. Is that
it really
pull,
is.
That feeling is similar, I would think. Again, it's not harmful necessarily to you.
No, because you're just missing out on money. Whereas gambling is, I'm missing out on maybe getting money, but in reality,
you're destroying your life.
You're just missing out on losing money.
Yeah, and you're destroying it. Like it gets to the point with gambling where it's actually a detriment to your existence and people you care about, and you continue to do it. You can't stop. This compulsive behavior is not in your control
if I
anymore.
had nothing to lose and could just like, I don't know, if nothing existed, I would get a loan and then just like go have fun at a casino and just like spend it.
That sounds awful to me.
No, but never having to pay it back, no consequences.
See, when it comes to...
I just want to gamble.
When it comes to gambling, and I wonder if I brought this up on our gambling episode, but even something as simple as roulette, black or red, not quite 50-50 because you have the 2 zeros on there.
Right.
But, putting $10,000, it doesn't have to be $10,000, putting $100 on there, but let's just say something like $10,000. Not quite a 50-50 chance, but close that you'll win, but also the same chance that you'll lose, a little higher chance that you'll lose. And for some people, I guess the idea, the thrill of that win is what lures them to it. But I know what I would feel like if I lost that empty hole in my brain and
it just being gone so fast.
And that does not, like the idea, the thrill of the win, the idea of the win, it's not enough to outweigh that thought. So with DoorDash, I could see it getting wrapped up in it too, though, because it is just money. I think you have to set some kind of boundaries with it, but also it is there so that if you're running an errand and you're already out and you just want to look and see if there's one for you to pick up, and you can pick up an extra $13 or even $8, whatever, do it. Sure. It's just always there then, though. Work-life balance is important, and this is going to permeate
definitely
all realms unless you don't let it. And I'm sure the novelty will wear off.
So maybe that's
too.
Another thing that comes with maturity, right? Is knowing that I can't, and I'm not going to enjoy pushing myself to that extreme. Not like it's so extreme, but it's doing something. It's time away from your house. It's time away from sort of doing the things that you need to do. Like I said, grocery shop and laundry. But
how many hours did you do it yesterday? 9.
9.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
What did you make?
I made 176 yesterday.
In 9 hours?
And I could have made more, because I really think I could have made more, because like I said, I was experimenting with the different, like in Baltimore and different places out there. So that was time getting there. That's
$19.50 an hour, so that's pretty good. I mean, for a part-time,
I really think I could have made more yesterday.
For a part-time job, that's not bad.
Yeah.
$19.50, picking up some extra cash since you can't make it, apparently, being on a #1 radio station and #1 radio show in a major market.
Those are the facts.
Which still blows my mind, but
I don't want to shit on the radio station.
We're not,
because
I'm talking, and I mean, I am bringing this up. It's not, but it's the state of the industry overall. And at some point, I want to do a whole show on radio, and I will shit on radio.
Yeah, we should do a Patreon where we just.
Oh yeah, but that was one thing I was going to bring up. It's like, you need this extra money, huh? You want to take the show to Patreon?
Oh yeah.
Start.
Okay, so if we did a Patreon, we'd really have to like give some juice.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. It's not. We've talked about that. I like just putting the show's going to be free no matter what, and some people will give money to a Patreon. Most people won't, and that's okay. And so I know it's not really changing the fact that it's not a free show, but I like the fact that pressure is not even there, and then we don't have to beg for the money and ask for it. And like you said, you have to put work into it and the perks, and you can send us a question and we'll answer it. I don't want to manage that. I don't want that to be on my mind. I just want to focus on doing the show and leave it at that. Maybe the engagement with social media could be a bit more, because I do think people like when they can talk to the people that they listen to.
I think so too.
But, that's on you still, because you're the social media queen.
I know. And I kind of am annoyed by it.
It really is. It shouldn't be on you. It should be me, and I should pick up some of that responsibility.
Yeah, but you do a lot too. You do the editing typically and the posting.
Sure.
All that stuff.
It's just not something I necessarily enjoy, is getting on social media but
Right.
it could be nice to chat with people. But anyway, if we did the Patreon if we did because you needed money, that would be the reason. And I would let you keep all the money, but you would have to do all the work.
Well, thank you.
And say, yeah, sure. Okay. If you really need this money, go ahead and do it.
Instead, what I would like to do is have some advertisers so that if people want something, they can use our code or whatever.
Yeah, maybe we'll get there one day. I don't know.
I know. We'll never get there.
I mean, in terms of doing podcasts, we're in a higher percentage.
We are. We're actually in a really high percentage, but
in terms of listenership,
the
but it's
numbers
not huge.
are all clouded up with the billions of podcasts that started and stopped.
Yeah, it's also it's most people I think get 6 downloads for a podcast episode when they start. And we're doing pretty good for no promotion. Obviously, we're tied to the radio station.
Should we tell them how many we're downloading?
No, it doesn't matter. Don't let people believe whatever they want to believe. I don't want to tell them anything one way or the other. It's either lower than they thought or it's higher.
Sure.
But I'm not. No, there's some secrets that stay with us.
Well,
but
everybody I do want to, since we're talking about the audience, we should thank them, because our show is something that really, I feel like we're coming from this very truthful place and an honest place.
Most of the
as
time.
Honest as, most of the time.
Someone's always honest. Me. Someone half the time.
More than half.
70% of the time.
75.
Okay.
82.
All right. So you're thanking them.
But yeah, I think that it's really cool because, this is us putting something out there, like we were talking about earlier, where we think it's good and we think it's kind of cool to be talking about these things, but will other people care? Do other people find it interesting? It turns out, yeah, a little bit. So
some people. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Share.
And what we're doing isn't, something that is, I don't know. It's about us, and it's about being genuine and honest with our feelings at the very least. I'm always honest with my feelings.
Well, start sharing the show with people who you think will enjoy it. That way Autumn can stop door dashing one day. Maybe the show gets so big that we get advertisers. I did check my mail today, and I got a $5 off DoorDash coupon. What timing. Cool. What a coincidence. The universe speaks. So for anyone who wants to use this code, because I won't, $5 off and 0 delivery fee on your first order can only be used once. So rush out there and use the code VBZQBRQ. That's VBZQBRQ. Good luck.
Yeah. And if you're the person that uses it and it works, please tell us who that is. I want to know you.
I just like that nobody's actually going to scramble to use it, but I like this idea of people, I gotta get that $5 off and that $0 delivery fee with VBZ QBRQ. That's VBZQBRQ.
Enjoy.
$5 off your first DoorDash delivery. And then, Autumn, you should forge forward with your art. Just admit it. You're an artist.
You
can be an artist. And
I do miss that
put yourself
part of
out
my
there.
life.
Just know that Etsy will take a little bit of time.
That's
if this
fine.
were Etsy in 2000.
No, even back then it was super flooded.
Already? When did it launch?
Oh, maybe not 2000. Maybe like 2008.
Yeah. Now everyone thinks I'm great at my crafts. Or I guess they have their stores where they sell vintage stuff and
I know so much of that stuff is such garbage, though.
Well,
I mean, it's like easily purchased things from China that you sell as like handmade.
Yeah, you have to do the research yourself. A lot of people just believe it. Oh, wow, look at this vintage item. And then the person.
Wow, this owl that's popular everywhere. This person is just, they're making it themselves. No, they're not.
There was some wall shelves that I saw on there. They were very basic. They were actually somewhat ugly. And $1,700. I was offended. I was so offended that this person had the audacity to think, and I think they were handmade, that they made them. But it doesn't matter. Handmade for 2 small wall shelves.
Really small.
$1,700.
And really ugly.
It really pissed me off. I really have not been, I don't get offended that easily. And this actually was offensive to me.
Were there comments or anything or reviews?
I didn't even look. I thought of the asshole who put this up for that price, who's so misguided and so delusional that he thinks that his work is worth this kind of money. It's not. I know you're not listening, but it's not. Hopefully if I put that out in the universe, somehow it gets back to you. It's not.
Well, the universe is listening to you because you got that DoorDash thing.
Your work is not worth $1,700. And even if it were good, which it's not worth $1,700. So just F you. I can't believe that you exist. These people.
We're going to post a picture of these shelves, okay?
I don't even know how to find them anymore. Maybe
I think you sent it to me. So
okay, you can find it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Please like and subscribe, rate and review the show. We really like to see the number of ratings and reviews go up. And check out hoffandpepper.com for some really great locally Chattanooga-made hot sauce. And be kind to your DoorDash people because could be me.
The code again is VBZQBRQ. That's VBZQBRQ. $5 off with a 0 delivery fee on your first DoorDash order.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, Autumn.
Do you like hot sauce?
You know, I do like hot sauce, but I'm getting pretty bored of my regular Texas Pete or Tabasco. I'm looking for a local sauce without any additives or extracts. A company that uses local peppers so it's as fresh as possible. And a company that really cares about the integrity of the sauce and where their ingredients come from.
Definitely.
And hey, while we're at it, I don't want a sauce with too many ingredients. You know, a lot of other sauces out there, they have all kinds of fillers. So I'd love to find a sauce with, I don't know, let's say no more than 5 ingredients. I mean, it's crazy, but there's gotta be a company out there that hand processes their sauce. You know, bottling and labeling every bottle themselves. I'm probably asking a lot.
Well, you really are, but there is a hot sauce out there who only uses 5 ingredients, 0 fillers, additives, or extracts, and who bottles, labels, and packages everything themselves. It's called Hoff Sauce.
What?
They're a small batch hot sauce company out of Chattanooga, Tennessee that's won Best Louisiana-style sauce in the country. How many times? Not once, not twice, 3 times.
3 times!
How does that sound, Greg?
I think that sounds amazing.
You know how you can get your own bottle of hot sauce?
No, tell me please now.
hoffandpepper.com. And not only am I giving you the gift of the best hot sauce that you'll ever taste, I'm going to give you 15% off if you use the code ONETOPIC15.
Hold on, that's...
Yes, get a pen and paper.
ONETOPIC15.
Good. That's ONETOPIC15, all squished together at checkout. You'll get 15% off your order, and your life will be better.
Thank you.
You're welcome.